nice way, wonderful way. And this Shorashopachar Puja that he performed, and then you people sang with so much of devotion, and almost all the songs are so wonderful. And at the same time, the children and the little senior, they're all joining together. The discussions are going on. This is a wonderful way. Unknowingly, actually, we have joined in the Lord's work. At this time, in this modern era, in this modern age, He has come to make the people aware about their divine nature. The God has come in different form, in different places, in different time, to help the people, sometimes in that particular locality, sometimes a time-bound help. But this time, the God, it is not an avatar, the God Himself. He has come to make people, to keep people on the right track. And that is very special. That's why Swami Vivekananda, he is telling that Praptam yadvai tanadinidanam Vedo dadhim matitva. It's a very special way he is expressing. This Vivekananda, in every step, he was examining this person about whom he is writing now. And he was not a devotee in that sense. Sometimes the devotee, they go on praising the people without understanding. It's not like that. My sister, elder sister, in the beginning she was against that I was taking the sannyas. After that, when I got the sannyasa, people started coming and touching the feet. She was very happy. And then one day, when a group of people came, they were listening to my talk. And afterwards, she was telling a group of ladies, she was talking, very proudly she was telling, my brother. And you know, when he was a small kid, used to behave like this, used to behave like that, which I never did. And she was speaking in such a way, because she loved me so much. She loved to tell a little bit of exaggeration. Then when everyone left, then I told, I think you were talking about the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life. It was not me. Then she got very angry. How you will know? You were at that time a small boy. You never could imagine what it... So this love, but Vivekananda's love is... can you please... Just a little... There's a profound love for Sri Ramakrishna, but not without any reason. So when he speaks about Sri Ramakrishna, and when he says that, Praptam yadvai tanadinidanam Vedo dadhim matitva. When you are churning the yogurt, and out of that you are getting the main thing of that, or same way, if you are churning all the four Vedas, the book of knowledge, then what you get, along with that, Dattam Yasya Prakarane, Hari Hara Brahmadi, Devaihi Balam. Balam, the power of Hari, Hara, Brahma, and other gods and goddesses. All they have poured their energy, the divine energy, into that. If you churn all the four Vedas, that means that knowledge that you get, along with that, if you miss all these gods and goddesses and Hari, Hara and Brahma, their power, Purnam Yattu Pranasaraihi Bhumo Narayanayam, then Narayana, from him, from the God, the Vishnu, all the divine forces came, the avatars, all the avatars. If their essence also mixed with that, Ramakrishna tanum datte, tat purna patram idam ho, that is the fullness of that personality whom you know as Ramakrishna. So Ramakrishna tanum datte, tanum means the body, that the total knowledge of the Vedas added with the power of all gods and goddesses including Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, the Sisti, Sthiti, Pralaya, that those gods, and all the essence of the avatars if you mix, then Sri Ramakrishna. It's not exaggeration. The people will understand it afterwards. And slowly it is manifesting. No one supported the movement of Sri Ramakrishna, no one. Rather, many were there against it. When Sri Ramakrishna asked that young boy of only 22, 23 years age, that's Narendranath, he was a graduate of Calcutta University, that's all, college graduate. And he told that you should be the leader and make all these young boys live together, and then you go out and spread Naren Shikkhe Debe. Naren will give the education Jokhon Ghare Baire Hak Dibe, when he will give the call in here inside India and outside. He understood it. No one else, not even the Narendranath. Because he was God, he could understand, he could see, he knew everything. So that was the power. When other people was trying to propagate about him, he said, you need not to do. Sometimes sarcastically he said, one is a Morakata doctor, the doctor, this is the operation they do, and that is Ramchandra Datta, and another is a dramatist. They are talking about me, what they know about me. So he wanted these people to understand, and he trained them in such a way. Then they saw one after another, they saw in their depth of meditation what is Sri Ramakrishna. That too, small portions. And Narendranath, he got, by his grace, the idea about Sri Ramakrishna. So this Sri Ramakrishna has come for what? Only to make people aware that they are divine. They should not behave like animals, constantly thinking about the body, constantly thinking about this materialistic joy. The more you think about the body, the more you become an animal. Because you see the animals, they never think about anything else except the two things. Their security, if anybody is coming to kill me, the deers and all, they will be munching the grasses and suddenly they will be cautious. Is any difficulties coming, anything approaching me? Constantly the security and food and nothing else. If you take the cow from here to India and if you give the green grass, it will be so happy, you will never cry, where is my country? Where are my friends? Where are my relatives? They will never say like that. Give the food, give protection, it is happy. But can man do like that? No. It needs some other things, the highest thought, and then only the satisfaction. Man is always dissatisfied. We were talking for the last 2 days on the happiness. There always dissatisfaction. If you give a good, even the dosa, idli in the morning, he's so happy. Next day again, then the happiness will reduce. One day he will revolt. Why every day the dosa and then can't you prepare something else? He's not happy at all. The one, for a joke, the one young gentleman He used to sit along with other friends, open up his box, the lunch box, and every day he used to, oh my God, again today, the same potato, same curry. Then the friends used to say, why don't you ask your wife to prepare something else? I am bachelor, I never married. But why didn't you, your mother must be cooking, then why don't you ask your mother to? Mother passed away long back. Then whoever is cooking, why don't you ask him? I cook myself. Then why you are nagging? Because I love nagging before eating. It's very difficult to satisfy a person. All the time dissatisfied and they like to be dissatisfied. Why? This is a good sign. Why? Human being can never be satisfied unless and until he realizes his own self. That is the thing. When one knows the self or the God, then only he is satisfied, and never before. And that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna came in the modern time, and when all people, particularly in the Indian perspective, all you know the history, the perverted enjoyments, the rich people, they were not having any liberty to do anything because the Britishers, they were keeping them tight. Whatever you like to enjoy, you enjoy, but don't poke your nose in politics. Never make any comment about the politics. So naturally, all the energy, all the intellect, all in a perverted way they used to give marriage to the what's called the kittens and the cats. Thousands of rupees they used to spend on that to show that I'm a rich man, the poor man. Because he was not having any other thing. Educated people, so-called educated, used to constantly copy the other people. That has been said by the Westerners. They used to copy and they used to feel proud. I have copied him. And even today, you will find that they feel proud to quote from this man and that man without understanding what actually they are telling. Even today, our people are so happy when they get some recognition in the international the cinema and all that, on the slum dog. They never think, why dog? Slums are there all over the world. Why then you are calling them dog? Can't you say slum god? No. If you call the slum god, you will never get that recognition, you must have to say. So that type of negative attitude. And they forgot everything. Some people, they said, oh, you worship goddess Kali? My God, how can you do that? A lady without any clothes and killing the people, even she is so cruel, she is keeping all the skulls as a garland, blood all over, and you are worshipping her as a goddess? Immediately they said, yes, 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 yes. When they are telling that is true, and they denounced that puja. And they all started criticizing image worship. Thousands of years they were doing the image worship, and group of people they started. If you notice at that time, Brahma Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, Arya Samaj, all these Samaj are coming up. They are trying to be Hindu without image worship. The Prarthana Samaj in the Bombay, they also denounce no image worship. How a God can enter into an image? God is so vast. When I was in Andaman, sometimes we used to meet all these religious leaders, and mostly there was no one except one father was there and myself. So, and the Muslim and the Buddhist, so they were not telling anything in that way about the religion. And the father, he was a good friend we were, but he used to always speak after me. Whatever I said, he used to criticize. So one day he was telling, I am so surprised, you see, and he knew how to impress people. The way of delivery, very impressive. I am so surprised how the Hindus can worship idols, dolls. Dolls, the children, they play with the dolls. How the Hindus are worshipping. All pervading gods, all powerful God. How God can enter into that small doll? Then after him, I again went to the microphone. I told, no, I like to tell one or two things about this. I too had a great confusion when I was a young boy. I used to love to eat the samosa, the dosa, the singara, the samosa. And you know the samosa is all closed, every sides are closed. But potato is inside. And I used to wonder how the potato entered into it when everything is closed. And the same confusion my friend is having now. Why? Right now he is telling the God is all powerful. Yeah. If he is all powerful, he can do anything. The thing that we cannot imagine, God can do because he is all powerful. And can't he enter into an image? He can. If he cannot, don't call him all powerful. There is some limitation in his power. So naturally, Sri Ramakrishna also told, no, I will worship Kali only. And that too near the Kolkata. All people, even Rabindranath Tagore's family, Brahma Samaj, when the sister Nivedita requested Rabindranath to be friendly with Vivekananda, Vivekananda was that time very famous, he told no because they worship Goddess Kali. Look at it. Sri Ramakrishna worshipped Goddess Kali. You know why? To awaken the Shakti. And what is the Shakti of human being? Intellect. We always misunderstand that the moment we say Shakti, we think the muscle power, physical power. It is very limited. How much one can become powerful. An elephant can kill at least 100 people. The rhinos, they can fight with many. How much power you can have? Nothing, comparing with those. So what is this Shakti? We are controlling the elephant. We are taming the rhinos. How? With the intellect. And that is why the goddess Kali, she is wearing the garland of the skulls, is a symbol of knowledge. She can never kill. If any lady is killing someone and putting that as a garland, the head as a garland, can we call her a lady? Can we call her a divine mother? No, Hindus are not that full. So obviously, we could not understand that. No one could understand that. All educated people and totally uneducated. He started going to that village school, but he used to talk in such a nice way, storyteller. All the friends used to sit by him and then listen. The teacher told Gadai, please don't come to my school because I won't have any other students if you are coming. Gadai was very happy. So I am free. So he used to go and dance in the mango grove. So that Gadai came to Calcutta. He was not educated in that way, but still educated people used to come and listen to him. In those days people used to talk. When Keshab Chandra Sen, the Brahma Samaj leader, he was a great orator. And people used to say like this, when Keshav speaks, world listens. When Keshav came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna, he changed it. He said, when Keshav speaks, world listens. When Sri Ramakrishna speaks, Keshav listens. So that was the power of God. A man who never attended any school and he was full of knowledge. Whatever he said, people accepted it. And that proves God is there. Sri Ramakrishna's life he proved the existence of God, people were forgetting. People were started disbelieving. Oh, it cannot be. Because in the name of religion, so many bad things they were doing. So naturally, people were losing the confidence, the faith. Sri Ramakrishna brought back the faith in religion. There was a confusion because of the Buddhist movement when they said the Jagat Dukkhamaya, this old world is full of misery. Misery for whom? Who has understood it? Otherwise not. If you say strong man, oh, don't take sweet because it may create diabetic allergy. When it will be, I will stop. Now let me enjoy. So you don't bother about the diabetic. So naturally, the people when can understand, then only Jagat Dukkhamaya, it is true. But to whom? Who has understood it? For whom? Not for all. But the wrong confusion, the people started stopping everything. They were not attentive to their own duties. They were thinking if we go and meditate somewhere, if we go to a temple, if we go to pilgrimage, all the attentions were only here, but they were not ready to naturally, religion also losing their purity. So this was the condition when Sri Ramakrishna came all over the society, and he came and he again established that if you are a real person, a real spiritual seeker, you must also be careful about your own duty. Though he was the highest religious order, he was, but he never denied his wife. As because I have married her, it is my responsibility to see that she is all right. And he asked her, do you like to bring me down to the householder's life? If you want, I will go like that. Because I am committed. She's mother, she said, no, I have come to help you in your spiritual life. And even then, the person who never could count the money, he was asking the mother, after my death, when you'll be alone, I like to know how much money you need to daily, for daily expenditure, how much money you need. Mother was there, you need not to bother about that. So I will manage. No, it is my responsibility. Then somehow she calculated, she was also his wife, no education. So she told, I don't know how much anyway. Then he himself calculated, consulting with others, 8 rupees will be sufficient for her. And that was given from the temple authority, they used to give. And that to their relatives, they went and stopped that, etc. You know that story. The Sri Ramakrishna was so much careful about his own duty. He was careful about his own mother. If you look the Ramachandra's life, Ramachandra was only, he never asked people to meditate. He never asked people to realize God. He never said that you should be spiritual. He said, no, you only perform your own duty properly. If you are a son, then you must be careful about your parents. If you are a brother, you must be very, very cooperative with your brothers. If you are a friend, you must be very cooperative with your friend. If you are a foe, you must be a ferocious foe. If you are a king, you must be a good ruler. All over the society, wherever you are, in whatever the condition, this is Ramachandra. And Krishna showed how to give up. He was having everything, but never depend. That is the whole thing came to Sri Ramakrishna. Right now, as this just now they mentioned, the Rama and Krishna in the same body. What is Rama? It's truthfulness. What is Krishna? Tyaga. You see in the Sri Ramakrishna's life, Satya. He told one person that I will come to your house, and he forgot. And that fellow also who invited, he also forgot. But in the night, suddenly he remembered, oh, I gave the word, I must have to keep. Immediately he came out. In those days, you know, that with a lantern, he walked and then went over. They were all sleeping. He kept the foot on that door and said, I came, I kept my promise, and he came back. Can you imagine the sincerity? And it became so much so, even unconsciously also he could not do anything wrong. He used to take one in the lemon, it's called as lemon? That,
Lime.
Lime. So that lime juice. So if his disciple used to bring that lime from there, and the owner of the tree, he told, okay, it is all right. He could take. Now in the meantime, one day when he brought the same fruit, he could not use that. He could not eat. Something has happened. He told his disciple, go and inquire. I think it has been sold to somebody else, and without the present owner's permission, I cannot take it. Can you imagine? It's unthinkable. That is the truthfulness. That truthfulness at the same time is compassion for different type of people. Used to go to see the theatre. In those days, people used to shun. And he was a very respectable people all over Calcutta. He used to go with all his disciples. Why? As the Jesus said, hate the sin, not the sinners. In those days, the ladies who used to act there, the actresses, the people used to shun and they used to criticize about them. But he said, no, the Divine Mother is manifesting in them also. The total Vedanta, the Sri Ramakrishna brought back the faith in the existence of God. Sri Ramakrishna brought back the confidence. Anyone without any barrier, that is birth or language or education, anyone, if he is sincere, can realize God. That's Sri Ramakrishna's contribution. And this Sri Ramakrishna, he sent Swami Vivekananda to the world stage. Why? To give a jerk to India. Only 29 years young man he came, and in one lecture he shook not only the intellectual people, intelligentsia all over the world, mainly to India. Now I go sometimes to that particular place. Now it is Art Institute, they call it Fullerton Hall, and that is the same place. Though they have reduced the accommodation, now it is only for 350 or 400 sitting capacity. That time it was 7,000 people's accommodation. Temporary it was there. Now that whole area has become the Art Institute. I always go and touch that place because those are the main. So America is one good thing. They always keep things as it is. I go and touch here. And the lady, the girl, one day she was curious why I go and touch that place. So what is it? This is only, all people they hire it and you don't hire. But why you come and touch it with great reverence? I told, how can I tell you? From here only, everything happened. What is that? Sthapakaya cha dharmasya. Dharma sthapana. The dharma means this awareness. I'm a human being. I cannot behave like animal. I have to be conscious. That is called dharma. Not that you have to go to a temple. Not that you have to mark all over the body. Not that you have to leave the hearth and home and take up the Gerua Bastra. No. Only this idea, consciousness. I'm a human being. And I have my responsibility. What I have accepted, I must continue. I must perform perfectly. And that is Sri Ramakrishna's religion. And at the same time he said, If you believe in your path, you must believe in others also. Why he said that? Because he practiced that. He practiced Islam, Christianity. He knew about the Buddhism. And then he said, all are leading to the same goal. Now all over the world, people are talking about that. After 2000 years, the present Pope, he is telling we have to understand the other philosophies also. There are truths in them, in other religion. After 2000 years. And Sri Ramakrishna declared all paths are leading to the same goal. Only thing you must have to have faith in God, faith in the existence of God, and sincerity in following your path. That's all. These two things. You do it, and you will surely realize it. This is the contribution of Sri Ramakrishna. That's why all over the world people are accepting Sri Ramakrishna. No rich person supported to spread Sri Ramakrishna's ideology. The Christianity was spreaded like wildfire after the Constantinople and other kings supported. Islam, they were also on the power of sword and support of the kings. Buddhism with the support of the Ashoka and other kings. But Hinduism, particularly Ramakrishna ideology, who spread it? Only a few handful of people who never had anything. No one supported. Rather, all people, they were criticizing Swami Vivekananda. He has crossed the ocean. So naturally, he has lost his caste. And he is no more Hindu. And this Vivekananda, who's roused the faith in the millions of hearts of Indians, when he went to Dakshineshwar after returning from here, in the beginning they could not say no to him, but after he left the temple, they washed the whole temple with the Ganga water. So the visiting of Vivekananda, his touches, his presence, impured that plot. Can you imagine that place? So that the narrowness that we have to break. So all the devotees, anyone joining this Ramakrishna movement, the small thing that you perform over here for the whole day, this little bit of puja, little bit taking prasad, then bhajan, then all these things, that is also knowingly, unknowingly, you are joining the movement of Dharma Sthapana. This establishing the true religion. And what is the true religion? Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity. That is the true religion. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming, and thank you for spending the whole day. Please do not forget, and whatever possible way, whatever capacity that you are having, you must try to spread this message. Suppose you have 4 or 10 or 20 family members and friends, send these messages to them that this is the Sri Ramakrishna quotation. Do you like it? Is it not good? Like that, you are joining in the missionary work. That way also you are joining in the missionary work. Suppose you can write. You write the articles and try to publish in local newspapers. At least 10 people will read, and at least one will be inspired by that. This is a great contribution. Not that all the time you have to go and speak like Vivekananda. Most of the people now they go, and Vivekananda, they as now the symbol, they will be standing like this. So when the authority declared that I will come to Chicago, you know that our Swamis, they're friends and there's some juniors. So he's always funny, and the moment he saw me, used to see me, we meet, immediately used to hand like this. So he never said anything. So like that, It's a Vivekananda. The moment you stand like it, it's Vivekananda. So when he's standing like that, that is the power. And that is Vivekananda is telling, everything lies in manliness. The more I grow, the more it comes to me that everything lies in manliness. What is the manliness? Self-confidence, not ego. Self-confidence and total faith in the existence of God. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. That's it. Jai Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev Ki Jai. Jai Mahamai Ki Jai. Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Ma and Sri Ramakrishna Thakur, both they loved Ganga. The Thakur used to say Brahmavari. If you go and touch the Ganga, you are purified. So there's a Brahmavari. So almost all the monks, they'll be carrying little bottle full of Ganga water. So that is a faith. Now Modi ji is trying to clean it, that's good. So the Ganga. Is it working? Yes. We will start with that prayer that we did in the morning. Sarvastaratu Durgani, Sarvastaratu Durgani, Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu, Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu, Sarva Sadbuddhimapnotu, Sarva Sadbuddhimapnotu, Sarva Sarvatra Nandatu, Sarva Sarvatra Nandatu. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Now, this is the last part of this retreat on happiness. Now, we talked about the happiness, its definition, etc. In the Webster dictionary, it says, happiness is a state of well-being characterized by relative permanence, by dominantly agreeable emotion ranging in value from mere contentment to deep and intense joy in living, and by a natural desire for its continuation. That's the definition given by the Webster Dictionary. Now, the happiness is a psychological state. But there are other popular definitions are also there. It says happiness is just about anything, anyone, anywhere might think of as making themselves happy. Now, when we have discussed about the happiness, we know all these definitions belongs to the temporary happinesses. Otherwise, these are not that happiness that we are trying to understand, the more deeper sense. It says the happiness is just about anything, anyone, anywhere might think of as making themselves happy. So if you just think that if you go to that search, Google search, and you find that there are quotations of the big people, famous people about happiness. Just be happy, they say. What does it mean? Some famous person is telling just be happy. It means nothing. It's just a word they say, but the deep root thing is happiness. The fast, as in the morning we were discussing, why we are striving to understand happiness, why each and everyone they try to get happiness, because source is the happiness. Correct. Because our very source is the happiness. We cannot accept the happiness, we cannot survive. We need the happiness. So that is the first thing. And here it says, another popular definition, happiness is satisfaction, contentment, fulfillment. Happiness occurs in various ways. These are the things mostly in the psychological study they will be teaching about this. But it has no depth. So that is why when we were discussing in the morning, we tried to understand in depth, very seriously, why happiness? Why we need happiness? Because the source. And when the source is happiness, the obviously going back to that is the main thing. So it goes on like this. Then afterwards it says, there are certain aspects of happiness, it says. One is stability. Second is definiteness, time emphasis, consciousness, and appropriateness. And these are the modern way they teach happiness. Again, I will say, this is also not that in a fluid way, just they're talking about the stability. Then you have to, whatever happiness you have got, you have to stable on that. You should not go on asking for stability. But the changing is a must. I am satisfied as a child with something, but that satisfaction cannot be the happiness or satisfaction when I am young. And the same person when he is aged, elderly, his views are different now. Obviously, he is asking for the different type of happiness. So these are the things. Now it says, happiness is composed of three related components. One, positive effect, the pleasant mood and emotions. This is called positive effect. Right. Please allow me, because I'm happy. So it goes that the happiness is a composed of three things. What is that? One is positive effect, absence of negative effect, and satisfaction with life as a whole. I am reading out from the modern psychology. So these are the things they think that happiness means this. But it is not giving us the satisfaction, the happiness. Understanding this is actually nothing. Then it comes to this another we will study about. Now you go to Buddhism. In the Buddhism, the Lord Buddha said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Now comes the depth. Why we are unhappy? Because we thought in that way. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded in our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. If one speaks or acts with an evil thought, pain follows one. If one speaks or acts with pure thought, happiness follows one. So to achieve happiness, to get happiness, is very positive way it says, you have to think positively. That is the teachings of the Lord Buddha. And obviously, Lord Buddha, he says that famous, that four, Arya Satya. Arya means the noble truth. Satya means truth. Arya Satya. The noble truth. What is the noble truth? This life is full of misery. Jivan dukkhamoy. The life is full of misery. Now we have to understand this very seriously. I don't think that life is misery. I am happy. And then you look around, then you will find the life is full of misery. The Gautama, he was not unhappy. Nothing, no misery was there in his life. But when he came out, he saw the first four things, the diseased person, old a person, and the dead body. Then a monk. These are the four things he saw. So when he was asking his friend, the chariot, that person who was driving, he was the friend of his father. He was, is it true that everybody is going to be old, becoming old? Yes. Is it that everybody will suffer the diseases? Yes. Everybody is going to die? Yes. So, Gautama came in conclusion. He himself was not that. But he saw around and he learned and he came in the conclusion, life is full of misery. Jivan dukkhamoy. Now, why this misery? Now the question comes, why this misery is from the cravings. It says it has a reason. Why it is suffering? Why it is misery? Because it has reason. What's the reason? Reason is the craving. Reason is the desire. So these are the reasons. The life is full of desire, cravings, obviously dukkhamoy. And it says it can be eliminated. You know that the Buddha way of telling the four things, it can be eliminated. And the way to elimination are eightfolds. These are the views of the Lord Buddha. So one, to be happy, first and foremost, you have to be very, very conscious about your thought. And naturally thought provokes to or leads to action. And the thought and action becomes the result of my suffering or happiness. So these are the cause. So he understood these and he was telling there are four steps. First, the life is full of misery, no one is happy. Second, the cause is there. Third, it can be eliminated. Fourth, the way are eight. What are the eightfold? Then it says right view. Right view. The first is the bright understanding. Right view means first is the understanding. Right intention means the thought. Then right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. The very first is right view or understanding. In the Buddhist way, though they say the Buddhism is different, but actually Buddhism and Hinduism are the same. Only the explanations, the way they are explaining in a different way. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, is a rebel child of Hinduism. What is Buddhism? Rebel child of Hinduism. Because Buddha was a Hindu and he grew up in the Hindu tradition, so obviously all these thoughts. The same thing is Vedanta also. And it's a right view, right understanding. You have to understand a thing properly. Otherwise it is very difficult. In Sanskrit, in our Veda, it says Dhi Shakti. Dhi is buddhi. Dhi is intellect. But that particular word, the Dhi, means understanding thing properly. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was discussing about the Vaishnava, the philosophy, and they say, Jive Daya, the compassion to the creatures. Immediately Sri Ramakrishna told, who are you to do compassion? You yourself is at the mercy of God. You cannot do that. At the best you can do some service. Sheva. So many people they heard, so many were there. No one could understand it properly. Only Vivekananda, he understood it. He came out and said, oh, what a wonderful teaching. When the time will come, I will propagate it, tell it to the whole world. So why? You have to understand immediately that what are the beings is nothing but the manifestation of the God, manifestation of Brahman. Me and you, there is no difference. This moment here in this world, I am having some better opportunities, having some money, property, wealth. And now I go and tell you, look here, my poor man, I will help you. Who are you to help? So that type of notion should not be there. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said, no, you cannot do that. Others couldn't understand this. Many of the very intelligent people, they are good professors, they have in their credit so many books, cannot understand a very simple philosophical thing. Why the Dhi Shakti? Here it says a right view. That means the right understanding. So this is the first thing. Second, right intention. That means the right thought. The right intention or the right thought, when you are thinking in a positive way properly, you understand that these are the way we have to. When you see someone is behaving in this way, you can immediately understand, oh, this is as because the whole situation is like this, you have to do like this. So according to the situation, sometimes people behave. Otherwise, so that you have to right thought. So one novice, young brahmachari, he was asked by a senior monk to do some work. He did. Then the senior Swami told, now you forget about it, I will take care of it. There was someone who was very sick. This brahmachari, the young novice, was asked to take him to the hospital, admitted and all that. Everything was done. Then the senior Swami told, okay, you have done it, forget it, I will take care of the man. I will inquire what is happening, the medication and all these things I will take care. But unfortunately, because of the pressure of work, that Swami forgot to inquire about that person who was admitted in the hospital. But some reason, this young novice, he again went secretly, inquired how is he, and he came back, knowing that he is doing well. In the meantime, the top man of the organization, he was inquiring, you gave me the report that so and so was admitted in the hospital. Now it is almost 4 or 5 days over. You are not telling anything. What happened to him? Then naturally, they all hierarchies, one after another, they came down and came to the Swami and they told, do you know anything?